Why are so many people struggling in their relationships in this country? So many people are going through things. A lot of people don't talk about the things they're going through. They just pretend, and they'll post things, couple goals, I don't know what, and you think, everything is fine, but people are really struggling. And it got me thinking, why is it that so many people are having such challenges? And I think partly it's due to how we're socialized about what relationships are and how they should be. Where do we even learn about relationships in the first place? You learn about relationships from novels, from music, from movies that you watch, and that give you all these fairy tale narratives about what a relationship should be. And then, the narratives around those relationships that are just unrealistic. I'll swim the deepest ocean for you. How? You barely make it through the shower. You almost drown in the bathtub. Like you don't even know how to swim. I'll buy diamonds and pearls. With what? You can't even pay rent. You complete me. That one irritates the hell out of me. How about you complete yourself so that when you and I get together, you don't have to deal with my shit. I don't have to deal with yours. You're a complete and whole person. Work on you so that you don't burden me with having to fix you. And you don't have to fix me. Fix yourself, I fix myself. We present ourselves to each other as these wholesome people. Okay? And you make me happy. Oh my God, that's another one, man. Look, if you can't make yourself happy, why are you burdening me with that responsibility? Find what makes you happy. I find what makes me happy. We present that to each other. And then that just creates a healthier environment. It's not my responsibility to make you happy. That's not even possible. How do you put that burden and expectation on somebody else? It doesn't even make sense. You are mine and I am yours. Where did we get this concept of ownership? Slavery ended, I don't know how many hundreds of years ago. Yet, you want to own somebody? I am yours, you're mine? How is that even realistic? And I think it's really harmful because we don't belong to each other. My car belongs to me. My laptop belongs to me. My phone belongs to me. You don't belong to me. We're just together. So this concept of ownership is like extremely, extremely harmful. And why I think that's crazy is because that concept of ownership puts you in a situation where you even have to now start asking for permission to do things that you would otherwise have done when you were single without having to ask anybody, And it puts you in a position where you feel like you are, you have this obligation towards this person, and this person has got these sort of rights over you, and you have to go to them to ask for your own individuality. And that thing of, I can't do the things that I used to do because I feel like, now I'm in a relationship. I can't do those things because they'll make you feel a certain kind of way. That just very quickly makes you lose your sense, your identity as an individual. And this thing of now we become one. It's nonsense. You don't become one. You're two individuals. You can't become one. It's not possible, And so that to me is so harmful because you tend to give away things and give up things that make you who you are because you think that is what will bring you closer to this person. Yet, years later, you start resenting this same person because you're like, before I met you, I used to do this, that, the other. I was a successful, business person. I dropped that because of you. I gave this up because of you. And years later, you're resentful, So I think that's crazy. And that concept of owning somebody, I've seen people do crazy things like you don't want your partner to have any friends, you don't want your partner to talk to anybody, you don't want your partner to meet people of the opposite sex, you don't want your partner calling anyone, you confiscate their phones, lock them up in the house. Man, I've been told crazy, crazy, crazy stories out here. So, it's terrible. Another thing is you hear people saying, we do everything together. Let me tell you, that is a recipe for disaster. Give people space. Give your partner space. Let them give you space. Go out and get new experiences because that just enriches your relationship. Instead of you guys sticking there with each other, driving each other crazy all the time because you're in each other's space, and then your conversations are the same boring conversations because nothing new ever happens to either of you. So you repeat the same story 50 times. And I know you've seen it. You'll see couples in a restaurant and they've come for a romantic date, but none of them are talking to each other. Everybody's on their phone or they're doing something. Or you see them in the club, they're just sitting there staring at everyone else. Why? You have nothing new to talk about. Because you do everything together. I think one more thing that people don't factor into relationships is growth. You grow at different rates as individuals in a relationship. And I think the fact that, people grow at different rates sometimes scares the person who's not growing at the same rate that you are. And so you look at this person and you're like, wow, this person anaendelea. And you're like, wait, you start feeling threatened. And then that sort of brings out all the insecurities in you, and you want to either limit their growth by telling them, no, you can't go down this path, you can't do 1, 2, 3 things, because you feel that this person will outgrow you. So it's a very selfish thing where you're trying to limit them so that they don't outgrow you, instead of you examining your place in that growth and saying, can I learn from this, and can I also grow in my own way, so that then we're growing together, not competing with each other and trying to limit each other because we feel insecure. The last thing I'll say about this is that, find what works for you in your relationship. And you need to be brave enough, because sometimes it might fly in the face of the things that you grew up believing, or strong beliefs that you have about what a relationship should be. Things that you've been socialized, whether by your parents, whether by society, whether by religion, whatever. But find what works for you, so that you don't find yourself trapped in an environment that is so toxic, and you're just there because you think people are going to talk a certain way if you change the way your relationship is, and you think outside the box about what your relationship should be. So I'm just saying, man, don't sacrifice your happiness, your individuality, your spirit, your spirit and your soul, because you want to become a prisoner of love.